Alright everyone, welcome back to another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle video. My name is DFree. Here today we're going to show off Android number 13 with the EZA INT. The INT one, of course, there is the Tech one as well. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Hit the subscribe if you are new for more content. We are using him on the Android team, and we want to get him alongside the other 13 as well, who is currently here, and of course that means that we do need to kind of line things up a little bit differently. So, that being said, this guy actually got a huge upgrade. Like, he is so good now post-awakening. I think that when it came to handling the EZAs, they did this batch very good. Like, honestly, among the EZAs, I think I'm most impressed with this guy. So let me go ahead and pull up the post, and I'll be able to tell you guys a little bit of what he does, so I don't just talk him up, right? But yeah, I think among the EZAs, I'm most impressed with this guy. I think he wound up just getting the biggest upgrade out of most of these cards, because previously he was just an orb changer, which was useful. You know, it just so right now we have access to him alongside the Android 21, which, I mean, he has offensive support, defensive support, 161,000 defense. Holy camole. Okay, so the super attack massively lowers defense. The passive skill changes tech orbs to rainbow orbs. Key +2 in addition for every rainbow orb obtained. Also, he gets 50% attack and defense. And also, attack and defense plus 13% for every Android category ally on your team. That coupled with these nice stats and also the leader skill here, you know, 170 to HP and 130 to defense. Wow. He'd be actually higher if this was 170 split, or even his defense would be a lot higher if it was just 21. I believe she's 150 across the board, the STR 21. So, yeah, looking pretty nice there. So, for our first, I mean, he does, let's just go ahead and also quantify, he does have defensive support. But that's not a knock on this team, because literally their leader is a defensive support. So, it's not a big deal. Their leader is literally a defensive support. So, honestly, it's still impressive to hit 160,000 defense on a team like this, because in most cases, most units get around 100K or something like that. So it's very impressive still. So 1.4 million, we can get higher than that if we had double attack support for one. But 1.4 million. So, all right, we can kind of already see, just based on that scenario, what this unit's main viability is. So producing rainbow orbs is always going to be helpful, right? Because rainbow orbs have the unique property of being the ones that can tie in other colors, as you guys know since you play the game. So since that's the case, the units that struggle for key or need this or that are the ones that would benefit the most from rainbow orb production. So for here, though, we're going to go ahead and just kind of get a super in and just kind of get this done. But yeah, so they would benefit the most from rainbow orb production, like LRs and stuff like that come to mind. It just helps them out with being a little bit more consistent. But also, on top of that, if you're in a position where you run him, which on Androids, again, you shouldn't really need the self-sufficiency, but if for whatever reason you're in a position where you're running him and you need it, right, you can get access to an additional 2 key for every rainbow orb, which is really good. Again, since his key meter only goes up 12, realistically, he doesn't need that. But, again, it's there, so we got to mention it. And then on top of that, for every Android ally on the team, he's getting 13%, right? So the only real difference here that's changed is previously he had more defensive support, so his defensive number will be higher. So without access to the 17, he's at 133, which is still impressive. Now, as far as the links that are triggered among these two units, really it's not too much. You just got access to Red Ribbon Army, Tough as Nails. You also get access to Android Assault, which Tough as Nails and Android Assault are both defensive links, by the way. And that's pretty much it. You get Fear and Faith, but that's pretty much it. You don't get Nightmare from him or anything like that. We do need to get this cell that's in the last spot for the Nightmare and support to get the best full link setup rotation, right? But other than that, we can get double support, so we'll try to do that at some point. So we'll go here, get the STR to attack him. And he has type advantage, so we'll see what he can do. He's a free unit, and he's probably not going to do much of anything, but it's a thing, right? It's a thing. So 300,000 attacks. Yep, that's about what I expect. He did a 300,000 rounded up crit. Okay, so 1.4 again. Situation doesn't really change too much as far as who he's linked with. The reason why is because, again, he's only getting Red Ribbon Army for attack, which is a 300 attack link. You know, the biggest knock on this unit really is Red Ribbon Army, Android Assault, Tough as Nails. Those are all links that need to be updated. Like, they're all just small flat boost increase links. Like, they're not good, per se. They're not bad. I mean, you'd like to have them, I guess, right? But they're just kind of there, if that makes sense. Like, you can do with them, you can do without them just as easily. So All right, this man's going to go ahead and finish it off. 17 should, anyways, finish it off. And then from here, we will, okay, well, both of the 17s will finish it off. How about that? From here, we'll have access to him again. He's going to be at a disadvantage, but it's fine. Not a big deal. We'll line it up and go from there. So 17 did finish it off. And the next boss is full power Goku, so we will have advantage through that event. So right here, I'm going to let him stay with this cell. So alongside this cell, those are the stats and stuff. So if you're wondering about the cell, he is a support unit. Cell does offer 2 key and 30% to the stats and also defense debuff for the enemy, while also having access to Nightmare. So realistically, we should see this man's highest attack stat of the video thus far. So we're going to go here, and then we'll also get these STRs, because again, he doesn't have big bad bosses also. Like, I really wish they would update links on some of these units. Like, I would love for this card to have big bad bosses. That would fit very well for him, and it would just help him out tremendously. It would fit very well with his passive that he has, because his passive is really good, offense and defense blend. And right here, we'd be triggering it, for example, but we're not able to. So 1.56. Again, if we get a crit here, we're good. We don't get a crit, unfortunately. At least we can attack down or defense down the enemy, right? Because that's not super relevant here, but at least we can do it. So, like, against the Goku event, this guy might be the hidden weapon versus the Goku event, to be honest, because androids, unless you run Gogeta, are in a position where they basically couldn't beat this the Goku event. But even with all these defensive options, they just couldn't beat it. I know that I tried so many times, and all my androids are pretty much all duped out and stuff. They just couldn't beat it. And again, this guy might wind up being their hidden weapon, their secret weapon. You know, their last little piece that allows them to get it done. And also, not just him. You know, there's the tech one that's good, too. You guys can consider the tech one. The only issue with the tech one on that Goku event is the final boss obviously has type advantage. But also there's, speaking of another tech unit, the upcoming Prime Battle Cell. So I'm very excited for the fact that Androids is picking up some new options. And within the course of the next couple of months, should continue to pick up more options. Like, I'd imagine they'd probably drop a new 16 card. They haven't dropped one of those in a while. They've been dropping, it feels like they've dropped a numerous 17s, really, but not really. But they have 17s, they have 18s, right, for the tournament power and stuff, so they're fine. But 16 hopefully gets a new card soon, and just continue to put more options out there for Androids. So here we go. With Androids here, we do have access to double support. And really, again, it doesn't really matter what we do as far as links are concerned for this guy, just because the links are so bad. It doesn't really matter what links he gets access to, because they're just not good links. So we're going to go ahead and give her the blues, because we're getting actually really close to a Dokkan attack. And I would actually really like to get the Dokkan attack against another boss. So this guy's kind of slowing me down. But the good news is, if you understand what we're doing here, it doesn't matter much. 1.7 million. It doesn't matter much what the damage is, right? I don't ever really keep tally of the damage for the most part. It's just the attack stat. That's the only thing that's important. So really, this has allowed me... I'm actually really happy this is a disadvantaged opponent, right? Where I'm disadvantaged versus him, because it allows me to see different setups. Like, I've seen different rotations with this guy, floated in and out the other 13, and really we've seen a lot of the offense you're going to get out of this card in even the best case scenario. But again, here again, we are below the 80% threshold, so I can't help but continue to hope and wish and dream that we had access to, again, big bad bosses on this guy, because that would be proccing right here. We're going to barely skate by without a Dokkan attack, so hopefully this rotation can beat this. So that way we can start off with the Dokkan attack next round. I feel like the 17 can definitely beat this. But yeah, I can't help but, you know, be in a position where I think that will be really good for him. Anyways, 17 does not. does not. Oh, wow. Imagine that. Trucker Hat is going to get it done. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to start off with a Dokkan attack. Okay. And we'll have Cell here, so we'll at least have some offensive support too. We do have some defensive support and some offensive support, so we're back to 160k, so that's nice for the defense, right? We'll get those, and you can have this because whatever, and then we'll get this in the last spot here. And this rotation should beat this before the Goku gets a chance to attack the 17. Oh, he's even going to super in the front spot. I don't really mind that. This isn't going to do much. Yeah. So this guy's defense is so high that, again, it doesn't really matter. Just for comparison's sake, not even like... The only units that can even touch this defensive number on this category, I think, would be, off the top of my head, if I'm looking... I think it would just be like the Tech 16. He's like the only unit, I think, mainly on this category that can even hit this defensive number. Other than that, like, you can situationally hit it with the Tech Cell as well with his orbs, depending on how many orbs he's getting, right, and depending on the rotation. But it's very situational with him. Like, there's not a lot of... And then, of course, if we're on a longer event, obviously the STR Cell is an option too. But, like, most of these units can't really hit this defensive wall. 160k is just very high. we're going to go ahead and float you there, and we'll attack here. And hopefully this rotation can defeat this. You know, I have it set up to where there's not a lot of offense, and that's the thing about androids is they generally just don't even have access to a lot of offense anyway, right? So since that's the case, we're going to be in a position where, again, hopefully we can beat it, but if not, it's not too big of a deal because, again, we are able to kind of line these up in different ways. So I said no offense, but this man decided he wanted to crit in one shot, so there we go. All right, so we have access to a type advantage matchup versus that Trunks there and double support. So yeah, this right here is probably going to be his hardest hitting attack of the entire video. Probably going to be his hardest hitting attack of the entire video, literally. And for what it's worth, Cell is still debuffing the defense. So we'll see what we can do. All right, how much are we going to output here? How much are we going to output here? Again, the attack stat's not going to be anything. Oh, really? You had to lower my attack? Wow. Wow. Boop. 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 Oob. I mean, it's not too bad. It was probably going to be like 1.7. Like, I think we had one of those earlier. But he lowered me to 1.6. It's not a big deal. I was going to say, though, wow, Oob, you had to lower my attack stat, huh? So we didn't get a crit, though. So that could have done a ton of damage versus that Trunks if you got crit. Unfortunately, no crit, though. So for here, we'll float out the 17. And from there, kind of line this up. So you can have an attack here. And for the last attack, that is going towards that Int Gohan that we don't have a card for, or that Goten technically, but hopefully we get that Gohan card because Gohan. And we'll get one more attack with 17, and that should really do it. We can also do it versus the, we should, for the matter, also do it versus the full power Goku, the full power SS4 Goku. So, all right, 17. Go ahead and one shot, please. One shot and one shot. Thank you. Oh, great. We got the double support setup again. Another double support setup. I'm just going to keep leaving him alongside the Cell, to be honest, because the Cell has Nightmare, has support. That's basically his best buddy. So we're going to keep leaving him alongside the Cell and go from there. All right, so probably 1.7 here. Yeah, 1.7. That's about where he gets to. That's about his wall with double supports, 1.7. And we'll have an option to get, wait, hopefully she's not here now. 21, or you are here now. So next round, when we see for our final attack, we'll have access to it, but we'll be seeing the Android 17 instead in that last spot, which is not particularly ideal, at least for damage, but we'll hit that beautiful 160,000 defense. So there's that again. All right. But yeah, just like for comparison's sake, like the Cell units, the LRs, they only hit about 100, 115 or so. Maybe 120, but they don't get 160, right? And that's why I said, like, Big Bad would be nuts on this guy, because that's a defensive link too, right? So he'd be in such a good position. He'd probably peak over, I don't want to say 200, but he'd get pretty close. If not at or above, he'd get really close. All right, 17. You're doing a great job, my man. You're doing a great job. Even though you took a little more damage than I would have liked, you're doing a great job. Trucker just constantly doing his 100,000, 200,000. He's just doing his thing, man. He's just there chilling. I overestimated how much I would use him, but I guess he's not doing a bad job, right? So whatever. You guys can see you probably never have seen before in the video on YouTube. So there's that. Yeah, 160 is back. We get this super attack here. Look at, by the way, I haven't been talking about it. He's been producing so many rainbow orbs. Like, again, there's that viability there too. So really you have a unit that can produce so many orbs for you, and that helps out in a multitude of ways. So he's very good. And this will be our final attack of the video, 1.3 off of 1.56. And yeah, thank you all for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Hit the subscribe if you are new. And if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you hit the thumbs up. And I'll catch all of you guys in the next one.